The revolution in Vietnam, yet brief, was successful in establishing a communist government in Vietnam, eventually causing the Vietnam War. But first, we have to look at how this revolution began. Hi, I'm Paul Prophet, and this is the Vietnam Revolution. In 1887, the French forces took over Vietnam. 68 years later, they were crippled by an attack by the Viet Minh. The Japanese forces allowed for Emperor Bao Dai to be in control over Vietnam, but he was a weak influence and a puppet. After World War II and the bombing of Hiroshima, Japanese forces were forced to leave. This created a power vacuum which allowed for Ho Chi Minh and his army, the Viet Minh, to take over Vietnam again. Paul Pratt.
Jack Manning.
So, how about this revolution?
Well, after the brief discontinuation of the French control, the Vietnamese and the French fought a major battle. This conflict ended with the Vietnamese standing successfully. The French retreated out of Vietnam. However, later that year, in 1954, the Vietnamese split into North and South Vietnam, with the effect of the Geneva Accords. Both North and South Vietnam agreed to hold an election in 2 years to unify Vietnam. In 1955, Ngo Dinh Diem passed away. He was the president of South Vietnam, and that was a big hit for the southern Vietnamese people. The U.S. military began training South Vietnam forces in 1956. The U.S. also began sustained bombing of North Vietnam's oil resources in 1965. However, in 1967, Robert McNamara called the bombing campaign ineffective. The battle strategies were operated by Vo Nguyen Giap. He was a Vietnamese general and a communist revolutionary politician. The Vietnamese owe him many thanks for the battles they won.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Manning. The following 2 years were a constant battle between the Viet Cong and the NVA against the South Vietnamese Army, or ARVN. At the end of the war, the Viet Cong and the NVA won.
I'm still going.
So, what happened in the U.S. during this time?
So John F. Kennedy, being the president at the time, he really believed in the democracy of Vietnam, and he felt like it should stick around after the revolution. Fortunately, after his death, when Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in, he believed the same thing, and unfortunately the war continued after his term. So when Richard Nixon was elected president, with all the protests in the 1970s saying that the war should not continue, Nixon decided to pull out of the war, leaving the South Vietnamese to fight the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong on their own, which led to the North Vietnamese taking the capital of Saigon and ending the war.
After this, North and South Vietnam reunited forces, created a new government, and moved past their communist ways, created the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. What will we remember from this? Well, the new generation has come, the old generation has passed. The new generation is looking forward to a bigger and brighter future. Move past the Vietnam War, be a stronger and better Vietnam. I'm Paul Prophet, and this has been the Vietnam Revolution. So, try to see what we can sit down here. Everyone, meet this. This is my girlfriend.
Alright, now be Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm Jack. And, currently still single. Is that coming up? I overdosed on insulin this morning. Don't want to talk about that.
To the left hand.
I know. Have to be
sorry.
Okay, reset.
Done. So, tell me more about the Vietnam Revolution.
Well, after the brief discontinuation of French control.
Guys. We're recording!
We're literally recording!
What were remembering this day?
Go on!
After this, North and South Vietnam will join forces and united path to communist the legacy to this day is that I don't think that. Okay.
Welcome to Vietnam!
I'm on my way. I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye to Rosie, the queen of Corona. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
One, go! After this, North and South Vietnam will
That's the revolution.